Dr. Aniket, thank you so much for being with us and for attending the CARE conference, giving your very insightful talk. I want to know from you that you've been at Purdue for some time. You've been attending conferences all across. And this is your first, probably one of the first conferences, especially in data science and AI in India, which is the CARE conference. How's your experience been, first of all, as the first? And this is obviously our first data science AI conference as well. I want to know from you, where do we need to go from here?
I think the conference has been an amazing first step in establishing the right connections in this space where different partners, whether from academia, whether from industry, across the globe, are coming to a venue where people are sharing their knowledges. People are looking at different angles like ML in applied areas, from theoretical areas. I personally do robotics, so it is fascinating that the CARE conference has brought in the right stakeholders to make AI and data science a successful story for research in this space in India.
Right.
So I think obviously this is, as a first conference, I think this is amazing. There is a lot of I'm hearing a lot of good things about this conference already.
I'm glad to hear that from you.
And I'm hoping this can only go upwards from here now, right?
So you've interacted obviously right now with some of the students who are here presenting from all over India, other professors who have come to give talks as well. The biggest motivator for the CARE conference, which actually is part of our name as well, which is collaboration. And that's the entire idea behind having these conferences. How important it is to have a forum like this and have exactly what you said, diversified people coming together. How important is collaboration to get any success in research, according to you?
I think this area is an extremely fast-moving area, right? In the blink of an eye, things change. And unless we collaborate and do things together, we will never succeed. And this goes without saying. At the biggest, and some of the big conferences I do attend in the space of data science and AI, the only success stories I've heard is people who can collaborate from different domains or even different problems, looking at a singular problem from different areas. And I think this is exactly what CARE achieved. In fact, I had the fortune of visiting some of the labs here at IIT Guwahati, specifically the autonomous systems, robotics, and drone labs. And I was so fascinated that I told the PIs of the lab that we need to start a conversation tomorrow. I'm not talking about next year, I'm talking about tomorrow. And if we can, get the ball rolling on some of these things, because what happens is we are often blinded by what we see. So I've been a faculty for almost 8 years now. I was a faculty in University of Maryland before, but now at faculty at Purdue for 3.5 years. I feel a lot of there's obviously good research going on in the States at some of these top schools, but we're always blinded by the people we do collaborate with. We feel this comfort that, okay, these are the people I know and I want to collaborate. But bringing a platform to give the people who want to collaborate, not just as a good thing to have, but as a necessity. Like for me, robotics is a lot beyond the algorithms of robotics. It's about bringing the data science aspect to it, it's bringing compute aspect to it. And there are expertise right here at this conference who focus on these kind of things. Had I not met these guys, I don't think, I would be short-sighted, I think is the right word. And I think this sets the precedence for the next generation of CARE conferences going ahead.
Yeah. How about from a student's perspective, like when a PhD student comes in, is basically obviously listening and taking in a lot, I think also, but apart from that, getting the opportunity to present their posters, have a lot of different conversations, feedbacks. What do you say that, how should they approach not just CARE, but conferences in general? How important is it for them to participate? And what should they imbibe from things like these?
I think conferences are very, very important, especially in this world of AI and data science. We were having conversations in the morning where a lot of the academic world, and I don't particularly mean to say good or bad things in this space, but I'm saying a lot of the academics, we have certain metrics we optimize on. We optimize on some journal publications, we optimize on certain things. So making sure the students are not only able to do this cutting edge research in the space of AI and data science, but also get the right platform to showcase their stuff to the industrial partners as we have here. At the same time, the right academics of the world. And I believe a lot of this is, I think this needs to be encouraged a lot more. So I had a conversation with many students after my talk, and I've planned some of the conversations for tomorrow, is how do we make sure that whatever we're doing is relevant? Everybody is invested in data science, everybody is invested in AI, but unless we are working with the right people or looking at the right problems, I think we don't want to waste our efforts. As you know, this field moves so fast that by the time you finish a research, you may realize somebody else has already done it and even published it. So unless we are doing things fast, aggressively, and I mean the word aggressive in a good way, I think we may lose the race. And again, I don't want to put stressful words in this conversation, but if India or on this field of AI it needs to win, this conference would be one of the many reasons why we would succeed in making this happen.
But that genuinely is the urgent need.
It's an urgent need.
It's definitely the urgent need.
Yes.
During the entire conference, I've heard a lot of conversation going on about not just the relevance of AI, but also the need for coming out of the starry-eyedness of, what the buzz of AI is, if I may say so.
Yes.
And actually getting down to the deep understanding of what is the requirement, how the application and the applied sciences need to come in, and how it needs to be deployed in the different domains that really have like a critical need of solution provision.
Right.
So how would you describe this mismatch of what we think is AI and what we think or what we actually need as application?
I think, and this is a problem I've seen with many students and even some faculty and across the board, right? People look at AI as the starting point for doing something. And there are people who are doing theoretical AI research. So, of course, they're looking at how to build systems or how to build these models which are more efficient, more, trainable, and from that. But from an application point of view, I want to look at problems first. What is the problem? What is the thing which I could not do today, or can I make things better? So starting with that problem and seeing if a data-driven approach or an AI ML approach could be a right fit for that problem. It may not be the case. If we start thinking that sort of sticking everything with AI and putting lots of data, may not be like the traditional ways of solving some problems are good enough. Right. But there are a lot of problems where I think AI will get you that leapfrog sort of benefit that we were so limited by the traditional models. Perhaps looking at a data-driven approach, perhaps looking at how do we collect the right data, how do we collect, or what are the problems right now. So as I was talking about this before, in the applied sciences space, like computer vision or robotics, again, I keep on saying things which are near and dear to me, but this is a field which is ubiquitous across different areas. So computer vision talks about perception of the world. How do I look at the world? Like with our human eyes, when we look at the world, we make meaning, we associate meaning with things. We understand what things are happening. Now, this is a very important problem to deploy these vision systems in different aspects of life, whether biomechanical engineering, in the healthcare sector, robotics sector, defense sector. There's across sectors, across research problems. This is an all-encompassing problem. Now, this field has existed for 50 years, maybe even more than that. But we realized a lot of these problems were getting saturated. We weren't able to go beyond a certain level of accuracy. And then we started bringing in, we have these model-driven approaches. We start bringing in some data and seeing if you're able to solve this problem. And now, I would say we are, in many problems in computer vision, we are doing better than average human accuracy.
Wow.
So things like facial identification, or things like body tracking, things like object classification, better than the average human. So that's where we want to reach. That those are problems which are perfect use cases for AI to intrude in. And I think we're finding the right partner to solve those problems.
I'm going to want to take you 10, 12 years back in time. And when you were doing your PhD,
yes,
how did you decide this is what I want to do?
this is very interesting. When I was doing my PhD in Chapel Hill, 2011, 2015, 2016, till 2015, 2016, AI always existed, but I was the classical guy. I always solved problems in the more classical settings. Robotics was a bunch of math. Computer vision was just a bunch of math. Like, how do we build these systems? Not looking at data, but building the systems from first principles, so to speak, right? As when we moved ahead, as and when we looked at real problems, like, you know what? We're getting limited by what we can do with these kind of systems, whether they are very compute intensive or whether they just are not strong enough to do some of the tasks we need to do. Slowly and steadily, my advisor at that time used to say, "Oh, we'll never do AI. I mean, this is it's a different field, and maybe we should not. The AI is not mature enough." I think not just me, everybody I talked to, they've all been convinced to come to the dark side. And almost everybody has realized for many problems, AI is a good solution.
Yeah.
Does it not have problems? Of course it does. And what you discussed in the morning,
Right.
there are no theoretical guarantees. There's no left, it can hallucinate and can make, really do terrible things. But I think we are going in the right direction.
Right.
There are people looking at some of those areas. How do we make these systems more trustworthy? How do we make the systems more reliable, more fair? I mean, that's another discussion which I can talk for 2 hours. But these systems are trained on data. Your quality of your AI models are going to be as good or as bad as the data it's been trained
Absolutely.
on, right?
Absolutely.
So I think all of these discussions need to happen, but the knee-jerk reaction which some people have, like, oh, because AI has problems, let's not look into that.
Right.
I think we should look into that and explore the problems.
Right.
Maybe I've said too many things, but I think that this is precisely in this conference. Again, I come back to, I think the CARE conference invited the right set of people to cover all of these areas.
Right. Yeah. We will at some point in time, I'm sure, get into the 2-hour separate conversation.
Okay, absolutely.
But for today,
Yes.
my last question would be that India is still not at a certain position when it comes to the reputation of conferences and the number of people that it's attracting globally. Our researchers still need to go to the Western world to kind of, imbibe and participate in some of the higher level conferences. Right. What do you think, as one thing that you can suggest to us, to the people organizing conferences and the other larger research community here, that what is it that you think we need to just do a little more deep dive into to get to that level that the globe comes to us?
I think you guys have set the precedence for it. Like, at this point, I think this is the way to go. Having the right people who are not only invested in research but invested in, perhaps even, I don't know if I should say this, invested in India as one of the guiding principles. I mean, there's good researchers across the planet, but I think inviting the right people who are doing great research, but also invested in India's growth of these spaces,
right.
and which CARE has done a phenomenal job. As we grow, as I think CARE grows, we need to not only be doing talks and invited workshops, like students get more hands-on interaction with some of these things.
Right.
And maybe in a few years, this could be one of the premier places where the world comes to India and present their papers for the very first time. Will it take a lot of effort to go to that point? Absolutely. I think it will. Because every time people look at, I've created something phenomenal, I want to go to the top and biggest conference for presenting some of this. So we need to get the right people emotionally and physically invested in this. So like, hey, you have the fascinating paper. Why not present it at CARE?
Right.
And let the students. I think this conference is obviously it's about the top research being at India, but I think also training the next research force, the students who see the world at home. And if this is the cutting edge research, this is what you should all aim to do in the next many years. And that's the goal, I guess.
Right.
It will take a lot of effort. One for sure. It will take a lot of effort from the organizing committee. It will take a lot of effort from us to stay motivated and be singularly focused like this. We need to do this. We need to make sure India is one of the hubs for AI research. And I think India has the greatest potential to do some of this. We have some of the smartest people on the planet. the fact that we may not be doing the top research, I mean, we're doing the top research, but the top conferences are not held in India.
Yes.
CARE conference, the way this was curated, I think that's the way to go ahead.
It's very encouraging to hear, and definitely that's the hope and goal both. Hope to continue this conversation again, but thank you so much for giving us your time
Absolutely.
today.
Thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you.